Hey everybody, what's going on? Eric here with Switch Adapted Toys, and today I have with me my daughter Morgan, and we're going to show you how to adapt the Playskool Busy Ball Popper. Now, we've actually already done this toy before. We've already made a video on it, but you learn things along the ways, and I was actually reviewing that video, and there's a much better way to adapt it. So this is going to kind of be the updated version on how to adapt it, and I'm actually going to have Morgan do the whole thing. So this should show you that anybody is able to do this. It's really not that hard. I'm going to walk Morgan through the process, and we'll get to it. But before we get started, if you're new to Switch Adapted Toys or you just came across this video, we're a 501c3 nonprofit organization, and our mission is to make play possible for kiddos of all abilities. We do that by creating these free resources teaching people how to Switch Adapt toys, as well as we've got files to 3D print your own Switch button. And everything is free, and it's on our website, and that's www.switchtoys.org. We want to say thank you to all the supporters that we have that are supporting our mission. We really can't make these videos without your support, so we just want to say thank you for that. All right, Morgan, so first thing that we're going to do is we're going to turn the toy over. I'm going to try not to even touch this toy.
Oh.
Yeah, you can do it. It's not hard. Okay, so the first thing you're going to do is you're going to turn the toy over. Yeah, you're doing it all. I'm just giving you the instruction. And we're going to remove all the screws on the back side of the toy, including the battery compartment right here. I'll hold it for you. There's one right here too. Now remove this top by sliding it over. There you go. Now you gotta lift it out. There you go. And there's one screw right down here. All right, so now Morgan, you should be able to lift up the back of the toy, and you're gonna kind of flip it towards you. Towards you. Towards you. There you go. Now there's screws in here because we didn't get them all right, so just be careful you don't lose them. And go ahead and stick them in that bowl. So now that we've got all those screws out, we need to remove this door right here, and there's 4 screws that hold down that door, so we need to remove those.
Okay.
So now you can lift up that door and just set it aside for now. Okay, so now there's a circuit board underneath this plunger, and it just pulls straight up, and you can go ahead and take that out. There you go. Now, I'm gonna get some tape, and what I found is really easy to do, it kind of holds everything in place, is we're gonna put a piece of tape just to kind of hold that circuit board down against this battery compartment right there. Then we don't really need something to help us. It just kind of holds everything in place while we're gonna go solder and stuff. So just like that, okay? Now, what we need to do is we need to drill a hole into the toy so that we can get our headphone jack wire into the toy. So we're gonna do that. See this little like dot right there?
Yeah.
We're gonna drill our hole right next to that.
Right.
Now when we drill our hole, I'll show you how to drill, but you don't want to just force the drill through because it will go through and then it will go through the table. And you want to make sure your hands stay clear from the drill. Okay? Let me get that set up for you. There you go. Now while it's still moving, pull it back up.
So like twist it again?
Yep. Pull it up. There you go. Okay. And we're just going to kind of clean out all the little scraps in here so that this doesn't get stuck in the toy and make sound and stuff. All right, so we've got our headphone jack, and it's a mono headphone jack, and that's really important. Okay. So a mono headphone jack. These used to be in like stereos and like CD players and stuff. You probably never even messed with a headphone jack before. But for music, generally they're stereo headphone jacks, and there'll be 3 wires. Mono headphone jacks are also for audio, but they're really what we need for these toys. So when you guys are looking for headphone jacks, make sure you get a mono that only has 2 wires. It makes things a lot easier. So what we need to do is we need to fish this through the hole up into the toy so that these wires are inside the toy.
So start at the bottom of it, or just like go like
No,
this?
you want to go up from the bottom through the hole. Yep, go ahead and pull those wires out. There you go. All right, Morgan, so now's the time where we need to put some solder on our wires. I'll be honest with you, this is the most dangerous part, but it's not a big deal. As long as you are calm and you are careful, you're gonna be completely fine, okay? So what we need to do is get some solder on the tips of both of these wires. We want kind of like a ball of solder on the tips of both of the wires, okay? I'm gonna use some alligator clips, helping hands sometimes they're called, just to kind of hold the wire so that it's easier to work with. Okay, so the soldering iron, a couple of important things. Soldering iron is very hot. The tip of that is very hot. When I turn it on, it'll heat up really, really hot. It will burn you. It will burn things that you touch. So just be really careful of how you're handling it, okay? And what you're gonna do is you're gonna hold your soldering iron to the tip of the wire and kind of heat up the wire. And then you're gonna bring in your solder, and the solder melts really easily. Watch this. If it's on, my soldering iron's on, okay? So if I just touch the tip of the soldering iron to the solder, the solder melts.
Whoa.
See that? We just want it to melt. We just want it to melt onto the wire. Okay? So you're gonna heat up the wire, and you're gonna just kind of keep slowly feeding the solder into it. And it's gonna start melting and melting and melting until you kind of have a ball.
How much do I need to use?
You don't need to use much. I'll tell you when to stop.
Okay.
So here's the soldering iron. Okay. Here's the solder.
Do you have the tip on it or like next to it?
You just want to kind of, yep, just like you have it. Just rest that kind of on there. And then your other hand's going to use that. And you're going to feed the solder onto the wire. So you need to touch the solder, touch the tip of the iron to the wire. There you go. Keep feeding it. Perfect. Now pull the solder away. Hey, that is like perfect. Okay. Now we're gonna do the same thing to the other side.
Does that need to be cleaned?
It's okay.
Okay. Heat that first.
Yep. Go ahead and feed the solder. Doesn't take much.
That.
Yep. Perfect. 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 Okay. Let's put this away. Okay. We're actually done with the solder now, because what we're going to do is we're going to actually use the solder that we put on the wires to get it to attach to the circuit board. Okay, so let's go ahead and set that aside for me. Okay, Morgan, so we're going to solder our wires to these two dots that you see on the circuit board there. So those dots already have solder on them, and our wires already have solder on them. So all we need to do is put the wire on the dot. We'll do one at a time. And just heat up the solder until they all kind of melt together. As soon as you see it kind of melt together, take the solder away, but keep this still. It'll cool really quickly, but you need to kind of keep it still until it kind of sets. Okay?
Do I have to use my hand to hold it, or can the alligator these?
You probably will want to use your hands to hold it.
Okay.
Okay. So hold this. You're gonna do it. I'm just gonna watch.
Okay.
So which wire are you gonna do first?
The black one.
Okay. So go ahead and put the black wire on that dot. Now touch the soldering iron to your solder and try to get it to melt and get it to kind of melt together. That's pretty good. Now pull the soldering iron away. Let it cool.
It stinks.
Now give it a little bit of a tug. See if it's attached. Is it attached?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. That's all you need to do. We do the same thing for the other one. Let me get you some tweezers real quick. So you can use the tweezers to hold the other wire and get it exactly where you need it to be.
It's so hard. Bend it.
Yep, kind of bend it to where you need it. Give it a little tug. Is it attached? You don't have to yank it, but give it a little tug. Let me look. See how you did. That's pretty darn good, Morgan. High five. You didn't burn yourself? You didn't burn the house down? Proud of you. First time. Okay, so now we can put the circuit board back into place. Now we want to be careful because we don't want to like damage or pull. You can actually like pull off the solder from the board, and that will damage the board.
Like the actual like ball that was already on it?
Yeah, exactly. So when you put it back in there, just be careful. It should fit, but just be mindful that you're not like pinching something or pulling on something too hard.
So just like set it in there?
Yep. Fit in. Perfect. Okay, now, so we've got that. All right, so now let's put the door back on, okay? So if we were to just put this door back on, the wires are gonna get pinched in the door. So what we wanna do is we wanna kind of carve out a little space for our wires to go in this door. So we're gonna use some snips and we're gonna kind of snip off this corner and just make this hole a little bit bigger so that our wires can kind of feed out the bottom just like that. All right, so what we wanna do on this door is we actually wanna kind of cut out this corner. So you're gonna snip it like that, and then you're gonna snip it like this and just kind of take out this corner of the door. You probably should wear safety glasses when you do this because a lot of times like plastic can fly off and could hit you in the eye. So just don't let that happen.
Okay.
Okay. And you don't have to, sometimes if you like just stick this in here and just crank on it, it'll crack. So just kind of go slow, kind of work it back and forth and you'll kind of feel it kind of pulling, cutting it. So yeah, so go ahead and cut it there. Yeah, give it a good squeeze. Now go ahead and start doing it from the other side.
Oh, gosh.
Come on, you can do it.
This is so
Use your
hard.
muscles. Use those big muscles.
Rude.
Sorry. So I'm just gonna, like that.
Oh.
And just like that. I'm just kind of cutting away this corner. Just like that. Okay, so now that that's cut off, Morgan, you can go ahead and fit it back on. You might need to kind of push the plunger in when you fit it on there. And you just want to make sure we're not pinching any wires, any of the wires from the battery and stuff like that. So perfect. Now let's go ahead and screw those back in. All right, Morgan, so this looks great. Now what we need to do is we need to prevent somebody from yanking on the cord and just pulling the whole thing out, the whole wire. So how we're gonna do that is we're going to wrap a zip tie around the wire on the inside of the toy. And that, we're gonna glue that to the wire. So there'll be basically like a ball back here that won't be able to fit through the hole that we drilled through the toy. So that will kind of keep it from the whole wire being able to be pulled out. Okay, so go ahead and fish your zip tie around the wire and cinch it down as tight as you can.
So like just put it through here
Uh-huh.
and then put it down here and then just pull it through.
Pull it through, yep. Pull all the way through till it gets really tight. Okay, perfect. Now we're gonna cut off the extra zip tie using the snips. Okay. All right, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna glue the zip tie to the wire. And you don't need a lot, you just need to kind of dab it on the zip tie and kind of get a ball of glue. And then we're gonna use this spray. This is activator spray, and that will like instantly dry that super glue. Yeah, that's pretty good. And now let's go ahead and just hit it with a quick little tss of that spray. Yep, perfect. Okay, here's the cap for that. Put the cap on this so we don't spill it.
That stinks, but that's awesome.
It does stink. You are right.
That is so cool.
All right, so now we pretty much just need to put it all back together. So let's fit the two halves back together and then we're gonna screw it all back together.
Does it matter where that yellow and black wire goes?
No, as long as everything fits.
Does it like pop on or just?
Yeah, it kind of pops on. You might have to kind of play with it a little bit to get it to fit. Sometimes it
that
takes,
side.
there you go. This side's on. All right, so now we just need to screw in the screws. There is a small screw up here by the plunger, and there's a small screw in the battery compartment.
Okay. So it's just those two?
Yep, and then the rest get long screws. All right, so now that we got everything screwed on, let's put some batteries in it and just make sure that it works. All right, Morgan, we got batteries in. We got it turned on. Go ahead and give it a press and let's see if it works. There we go. There you go. Your first toy adaptation. All right, so that's pretty much it, Morgan. Way to go. Congratulations. Really, it wasn't that hard, right?
No, not really.
Yeah, if my 9-year-old can do it, you can do it. What's different about this version as opposed to our original video that we posted was that this toy will actually now operate using the plunger. Our old video, we basically bypassed this by cutting those wires instead of soldering to the circuit board. In my opinion, this is an easier way and just a better way to do it. We learn things as we go along, and so we want to kind of update some of those videos. If you liked this video or if you found it helpful, make sure you hit the like button and hit subscribe to stay up to date on all our latest videos. If you've got a toy that you really want us to adapt, make sure you leave it in the comments below. We read all our comments, so if we see that someone really wants a toy done, we're going to try our best to try to make that happen. So if you've got something that you really want done, you want us to make resources for, leave it down below. And if you want to find out more about Switch Adapted Toys, you could do so on our website, www.switchtoys.org. There we've got all of our resources kind of in one place. All of our videos, all of our written manuals, the files to 3D print your own Switch buttons. We've got even like a classroom section where you can kind of learn and kind of learn about some of the research that's being done around Switch Adapted Toys. All that's there. I encourage you to check it out. Again, www.switchtoys.org. And if you've got a group or an organization and you want to adapt toys kind of on a bigger scale for kids in your community, you could look into forming what we call a Switch chapter. And we kind of help walk you through that process and allow you to provide toys free of charge to kids in your community. So if that's something that interests you, check out our website. And also on there is a map where you can go and you can find where all of our local chapters are. So if this is something that you want to get into, but maybe you don't want to spearhead it yourself, go on there, find what's available near you, and get plugged in that way. Lastly, if you're interested in a Switch Adapted toy, but doing it yourself isn't your thing, we do sell some pre-adapted toys like this Busy Ball Popper on our website. All the proceeds stay here and help support what we're doing. We try to offer our toys as reasonably priced as possible. That's kind of the whole reason why we're offering these free videos, is because we want to just have people have access to these toys. So if that is what you're looking for, check out our website. You can also pick up our Switches there and a bunch of other toys, so check that out. All right, I guess that's pretty much it. I'm Eric, and this is Morgan with Switch Adapted Toys, and we'll see you next time.
Switch Adapted Toys, making play possible.